You mentioned, Senior Minister, earlier about the US-China relationship that they have to work out, between themselves. And indeed, it is the most decisive relationship in the world, affecting our security and prosperity. Now, President Trump is said to be not a man of war. He also seeks to strike deals. In fact, he's come up with a grand bargain for Mr. Putin and Russia. Do you think a grand bargain is possible between the United States and China?
I think it would be difficult because the issues between the US and China have become deep. On the US side, fundamentally, they have made an assessment that China is a pacing challenger. That means it's something which they have to treat not just as a partner, as a friendly country, but something which could pose a challenge, maybe even a threat to them. And what is behind this? I think they see China growing. They see China possibly becoming bigger than them, maybe stronger than them. And I think it is not acceptable to the Americans to have this happen, because they see differences between them and China quite fundamentally in terms of ideology, in terms of global influence, in terms of their place in the world. And they have decided that no, they must stay ahead, and one way or the other, they will stay ahead. And they will stop this from happening. On the Chinese side, they see themselves growing. They want to do business with the world, but at the same time, they see America as trying to block their growth. And to them, this is something which is crucial. They have the right to grow. Why should any country be able to tell me I can't do this or I can't do that? They feel they have the right to technology, they have the right to the same standard of living as the developed countries, and they want to take their rightful place in the world. They see it as their rightful place in the world. And so these are two very different, fundamentally contradictory mindsets. And underlying that, feeding that, are a series of very difficult questions over sovereignty, over security, over values, over political systems, over imbalances in global trade, over technology, over cybersecurity intrusions, which are not easily traded off or packaged together into a grand bargain. Each one is an absolutist thing in its own, at least in the basic mindsets of the countries. And therefore, I don't see a grand bargain. And yet, unless America and the US work together and have some kind of working arrangement, I think both will be in trouble and the world will be in trouble. Because if they clash with one another, it's going to be, they'll do a lot of harm to both and to the rest of the world. And so I hope some accommodation can be worked out. I can imagine some of the things which they have to do that, but it will not be easy.